Hockey. No, no, no. Hockey. No. Hockey. No, 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 no. Hockey. Yes, thank you, hockey. My name is Mlaser, and let's get to it. The origin of the word hockey is unknown. The first confirmed use of word hockey was in 1773, however there are some scholars who dispute this and say that the word hockey was used far before then. However, nobody really knows the true origin of the word. One possible explanation may be that the word hockey is derived from the Middle French word hoquet, meaning curved stick, most likely referring to the hockey stick used for the game. Ball and stick games or proto-hockey games could be found all around Europe dating back as far as 2000 years ago. From Greece to Russia, from Sweden to Britain, each place had its own form of some sort of a stick and ball game. The Dutch, British and Russians came closest to imitating today's modern hockey. However, all of these proto-hockey games were quite a bit different from today's hockey. The Dutch ball and stick game resembled more golf on ice than hockey, and the Russian game called bandy was played with no ice skates and round ball instead of a puck. The British game of hurley had some similarities to today's hockey, however it was played on a field instead of on ice. However, the Scottish game of shinty resembled the rules of today's hockey the closest. This game was predominantly played during the winter holidays, when entire villages used to gather to watch the game of shinty. It was from shinty that hockey got its stick shapes, checking, the ability to use both sides of the stick, and being able to play the puck in the air. In the end, none of these games evolved directly into hockey, but they all paved the way for many ball and stick games played today, like field hockey, floorball, floor hockey, bandy, etc. For the creation of hockey itself, it took the colonization of Canada by Russians, British, and Dutch immigrants to bring all these proto-hockey games together. It was during this time that the word shinty got abbreviated to shinny and got merged with bandy and hurley and started to be played on ice with ice skates. However, even though resembling modern hockey, there were still many different games of shinny being played all around Canada. Some still used a ball, some a wooden puck, some had 9 players per team on the ice, some had more and some had less. It took one man, James Crichton, to be inspired by the game of rugby and apply it to shinny, creating his own version of shinny where checking was allowed and passing could be only done backwards. He rented out the Victoria skating rink in Montreal and with his friends played the first official organized game of hockey in 1875. From there, the game slowly took off, with newspapers printing about this new and exciting game and with a tournament being held at the Montreal Winter Carnival. Hockey was still mostly played by Montreal gentlemen of McGill University, as many people didn't have the time to spend for playing a sport. However, the game became very popular with the younger generation who had the time to spend. The long winters combined with the cheap strap-on shoes, skates, and makeshift sticks meant that the game was accessible and easy to pick up for kids. And some of these kids were the children of Frederick Arthur Stanley, the Governor of Canada. His kids were so infatuated with hockey that when they were older and were playing in a proto-hockey league, they cajoled their father to pay $50 for the creation of the Stanley Cup. The cup that for generations will be thought over by hockey teams all around North America. It was during the end of the 19th century when the rule of only passing backwards was abandoned and the rules for hockey became more standardized due to the plethora of new hockey leagues emerging all around Canada. A particularly important one was the National Hockey Association, which later on evolved into the NHL we have today. During the 20th century, the game spread all the way to Europe, more precisely Sweden, Finland, Czechoslovakia, and the Soviet Union. Each of these countries had their own version of proto-hockey, most notably bandy. However, with the arrival of hockey, many players quickly shifted to the new game, and so the power struggle between the fourth hockey nations in Europe was born. The Finns, Swedes, and Czechoslovaks were the first ones to pick up on modern hockey, starting around the World War I era. The Soviet Union would join the world of hockey later, after World War II, to show the world through hockey that communism is a superior option. And even though this may seem like a crazy idea, it wasn't only through hockey that the Soviets were trying to do this. Today's hockey had a very complicated history. There was no one event that created hockey, rather it was an evolution over time that gave us the hockey world that we have today. In the end, hockey isn't a game that was shaped by other games or politics, but it is a game that was shaped by the people who played it, who enjoyed it, the people that believed that this game had a future. So this September, when you see your team out there on the ice, representing your country, remember the history that led to that one great moment. Because great moments are born from great opportunity.
Now go out there and take it. Come on, Dave. Let's go show the plumber tonight. Let's go, plumber. Let's go show